What's up guys, this is KhUnlimited. Today I have another video for you guys, and today I'm going to be talking about Disney worlds I want to return in Kingdom Hearts 3. So any worlds, in specifically Disney worlds have been in Kingdom Hearts, the ones that I want to see return in Kingdom Hearts 3 I'm going to be mentioning in this video. So in this video I actually have three categories I'm going to be separating the worlds in. The first category is worlds I really want back. So this category is meant for the worlds that I really want back personally, ones that either brought me nostalgia or just I enjoyed overall. So these worlds that I want back. Second category is that I'm okay with being back, so if they don't come back I'm okay, but if they do come back I'm also okay with it as something that I don't really want but I still think it'd be cool in it. And the last category is I'm just curious. I'm curious if they do put this world in Kingdom Hearts 3, how would it be? Since Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be so expansive, it just makes me curious on how they could really put this world into Kingdom Hearts 3. So let me get started. So with the first category is the worlds that I really want back in Kingdom Hearts 3. So the first world I'm going to mention right now, since it's already confirmed, is Olympus Coliseum. I think Olympus Coliseum would be an amazing world to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. Obviously it's already confirmed, and shown by its expansiveness, I think it's going to be pretty amazing, and how much more bigger, more greener it is. By greener I mean like they show much more aspects of nature, since we were really just stuck in the Coliseum in the previous game. So I feel like now that we're actually going outside, now they're actually getting to climb the mountains and see more of the outside, it just gives a more newer feeling to the world. And even though it is the same world that we've seen in almost every Kingdom Hearts game, or every Kingdom Hearts game, I'm not sure, but even though it is the same world and a lot of people kind of don't want to see it anymore, since they're bringing so much new aspects, so I feel like it wouldn't really feel like an old world at all, but something totally new. So I feel like Olympus Coliseum deserves to be in Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm happy that it will be in Kingdom Hearts 3 shown from the trailer. Now, another world I want to see in Kingdom Hearts 3 is Pride Lands. So Pride Lands is one of my favorite worlds in Kingdom Hearts 2 and in Kingdom Hearts overall. And one of the things I really loved about it was the line transformation. Now, the line transformation was something that not a lot of people liked, since they just didn't like transformations overall, kind of similar to the mermaid one in Atlantica. So the lion one kind of restricted you on many abilities, and you couldn't use other things such as dry forms. And yeah, that's something that I didn't really like about the lion transformation, but other than that I think the lion transformation was pretty cool to use. He was a bit faster. I feel it was pretty fun running around with him in the savannah, and I feel like Pride Lands would be an amazing world to make in Kingdom Hearts 3, since it could expand on it. For example, in Kingdom Hearts 2 they had the savannah, but the way they did in Kingdom Hearts 2 was all flat and it looked pretty boring. So if they could bring that back into Kingdom Hearts 3, imagine how big it could be, imagine how expansive it could be. Imagine them making Pride Rock in its full size, because in Kingdom Hearts 2 they really shrunk it down, you can tell. So imagine bringing Pride Rock back, imagine bringing the savannah, every place and every just corner you think about Pride Lands, bring that into Kingdom Hearts 3 would be pretty amazing, and really just seeing that in depth would be awesome to see in Kingdom Hearts 3. So I feel like Pride Lands would be amazing. And also, since they still have another movie they could cover, which is where Simba gets a daughter and Kovu's in it, I think that'd be pretty amazing to see. And that was one of my favorite movies. I think that was Lion King 2, I believe. So if they do bring it back, I would want them to base it off on that movie, and I would enjoy it a lot if it was based on that movie. So because they still have another movie free, and since how they can expand it so much more, I feel like Pride Lands should be in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, another world I want in Kingdom Hearts 3 is Land of Dragons. The Land of Dragons, I've seen from a lot of people, they don't really like it too much for it to come back in Kingdom Hearts 3, but Land of Dragons was actually one of my favorite worlds in Kingdom Hearts 2, since it was one of the first worlds to get a pick, and I really liked it the best from the choices we had. I think the other one was Beast Castle. I like Land of Dragons much more, and I feel like it's a world that deserves to be in Kingdom Hearts 3, especially since I believe it has another movie. I believe there's a Mulan 2, and I feel like if it was based on that, they could really make it work. And again, I would like to see this expanded, since they really crunch it down, like when we had to go to different areas such as the Emperor's Castle or whatever that was called. They made you skip so much space and just make you go room to room, but now that is more of an open world type game, since there's barely any loading time. I feel like they could make it much more expansive, and it would make sense since there's already so much of the area that in Kingdom Hearts 2 we saw, such as the summit, where we basically had to climb a mountain. There was the other part of the mountain where it was snowy. I feel like they could just incorporate that into a big whole world, and it would really fit in Kingdom Hearts 3. So I feel like Land of Dragons could fit, and I believe since it still has another movie you could cover, it would fit perfectly in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, the last world in this category is a world that you guys might be surprised of, and it's 100 Acre Wood. I know a lot of people don't like 100 Acre Wood. They kind of hated it because of the mini games, but I actually found the world pretty fun. I found it a bit lighthearted, and it was pretty nice to go to a world where if you could be away from the action, because sometimes when there's so much action in a game, you just kind of want to back away from it for a while. And 100 Acre Wood was that world that you could just go and relax, and the mini games were pretty fun. I have to admit, because I played them sometimes and they were pretty fun, and I know they were pretty easy, but I feel like if they brought 100 Acre Wood back, they could make it much better in Kingdom Hearts 3, and maybe it wouldn't even have to be a minigame world. Maybe it could be a full-on world. We don't really know what they could do. Tetsuya Nomura always has an ace up his sleeve, so maybe they could bring it back and make it much better. But I know it probably won't be likely to for them to make it a whole new world, but I feel like 100 Acre Wood still deserves a chance to be back in it. I feel like it was a pretty cool addition, and they could just bring it back how they always do in the Winnie the Pooh book. So not much more to say on 100 Acre Wood than that, but I feel like it should be back in Kingdom Hearts 3, and it just would feel a little bit incomplete without it. I just feel like it should be in it, and like I said, it would just be incomplete without it. So hopefully 100 Acre Wood does make it in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now going on to my second category, which is worlds that I would be okay with to come back, and I actually only came up with one world to be in this category, and that world is Agrabah. Now Agrabah is a world that's been in Kingdom Hearts many times, and it's a world that I enjoyed. It wasn't one of my top worlds, but it was near my top worlds. It wasn't one of the worlds that I hated, but I feel like Agrabah would be the world that if it came back, I would be excited about it. It would be amazing, but if it wasn't in it, I'd be okay with it, since it's not a movie that I really want in the game, but it's a world that I would be okay with. So there's not much more to say about that. The only thing I can really think about is the way they expanded. They could make it much better. I guess we could go into a desert, and I'm also sure that Agrabah has another movie. I can't really remember if it has another movie or not, since I think I watched like one of them a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure it has another movie where Agrabah could be based on for Kingdom Hearts 3. But yeah, so this is the only world that I have in the category of worlds that I'm okay with to come back Kingdom Hearts 3, and yep. Now for my last category is a world that I'd be curious with to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. So for this category I have 3 worlds. The first world is Neverland. So Neverland, the reason I'm curious for it to be in Kingdom Hearts 3 is the way they could make it and the way they could have different mechanics for it. So as you know, Neverland is a huge world and has very different parts to it, and I feel like Neverland could be used in Kingdom Hearts 3 in many different fun ways. One of the ways is that you would be able to fly in Neverland. Now this was shown in Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, and slightly shown in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep where they were able to glide, but I feel like if they bring the flying mechanic, I think it'd be pretty cool. Now if they do bring the flying mechanic back, it would have to be really refined and make it so it wouldn't be so annoying, as the flying mechanic would be annoying at times when fighting Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. So that's one of the main reasons why Neverland is in my curious section, because I'm curious to see how they can make it. I'm curious to see how they can expand on it and how they can make mechanics, but at the same time I kind of don't want it to be in Kingdom Hearts 3 in case they kind of do mess up on it. So I feel like it's kind of a hit or miss, but they should only put it in Kingdom Hearts 3 if they're fully sure that they can make it an amazing world. Now another world that I have in my curious section is Port Royal, and the reason I want that to be in Kingdom Hearts 3, the reason it's actually in my curious section, is because Port Royal wasn't one of my favorite worlds in Kingdom Hearts 2. It was actually one of my lower worlds, and the reason for that was because the way it was made. First of all, it was always dark and gloomy. That's something I don't really like about worlds. I'm okay with worlds that have dark and gloomy parts at some points, but the whole world was dark. It was just gloomy. It's just like I didn't really have fun in there that much. And one of the things that I really hated was the mechanics in it. The fact that you were only able to hit the pirates when they're in the moonlight was really annoying, and it got old really fast. I'd be okay with that mechanic if they had it for kind of like one battle where they kind of set up a battle and you had to do it for 1 point in the game. But the fact that they had it for the entire world just got really annoying and really old really fast. So I feel like Port Royal was annoying in Kingdom Hearts 2, but if they brought it back in Kingdom Hearts 3, took away the mechanic and really expanded on the world and have some light parts too, because like it was just way too gloomy in Kingdom Hearts 2 I feel, and I feel like they could make it much better in Kingdom Hearts 3. And I know there's a lot more Pirates of the Caribbean movies they could base on. I personally haven't seen them myself, but I know from other people that they think it's pretty amazing, and that they think that Port Royal could fit amazingly in Kingdom Hearts 3. So based off their word, I think Port Royal would fit perfectly in Kingdom Hearts 3, but again, it's in my curious section since I personally don't know if it will be good in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now the last world I'm going to be talking about, which is also in the curious section, is the Grid. Now the Grid is based on the movie Tron, and Tron is one of my favorite movies, especially Tron Legacy, and I was really hoping that the Grid could be in Kingdom Hearts 3 when they announced that they were making a Tron 3 movie, but then shortly after I heard that it was cancelled, which I have no idea why, but that kind of saddens me because I thought that the grid would be an amazing world in Kingdom Hearts 3. And the reason it's in my curious section is, first of all, because like I said, Tron 3 got cancelled, so I don't know what they would base it on. And second of all is because I would only like it if they do it right, because one thing that I've noticed is Space Paranoids I enjoyed quite a bit in Kingdom Hearts 2, and I was really excited to see the grid in Dream of Distance when they showed different parts of it, such as Sora fighting in the grid and him hanging out with Sam in some cutscenes. I feel like that was awesome, and they really stayed true to the Tron Legacy movie. But something that I noticed is that the world was really bland. It was just all just like a black rough landscape, and it just didn't feel fun. Like, as much as I thought it would be so cool in my head how Tron could be in Kingdom Hearts 3, how it'd be so amazing, how you could really adventure through the lands of Tron, but then when it actually came to the game, it was just boring. And I think one of the main things were hardware limitations, since it was on the 3DS. But then again, what else could they really add? I know there's a few things they could add, but it's just the grid isn't really a colorful or like an amazing place that you'd really want to venture through, now that I think about it. So that's why the grid is in my curious section. Unless they could make it a really good world for Kingdom Hearts, they shouldn't put it in. But then again, if they find a way that they could put the grid in Kingdom Hearts 3, I'd be all for it, because I feel like if they would put it in, they would know how to handle it. And one thing that'd be amazing is if the Keyblade transformation for that world would actually be the Tron cycle. I think that'd be pretty amazing if Sora could just change his Keyblade to a Tron cycle, maybe just run over a few Heartless for a limited period of time, then get off it. I think that would fit perfectly, and that's something I would really like to see in Kingdom Hearts 3. So this video is kind of stretching on too much, and I feel like that's all the worlds that I want to list in my list to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. So just summarizing, these are the worlds that I want: Olympus Coliseum, Pride Lands, Land of Dragons, and 100 Acre Wood. In my other categories, Acre, which I'm okay to see with the Kingdom Hearts 3, and the worlds that I'm curious about is Neverland, Port Royale, and the Grid. So those are all the worlds that I like to see in Kingdom Hearts 3 for separate reasons, as you've heard. Now let me know down in the comments below which worlds do you want to see in Kingdom Hearts 3, and do you really want to see it? Give me the reasons why you want to see it. Is there any worlds that you would just be okay with, or like me, is there any worlds that you'd be curious about? Let me know down in the comments below and tell me why you would want it in Kingdom Hearts 3. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember the possibilities for Kingdom Hearts Unlimited. Later.